Our topic today is property fix and flip. What is property fix and flip? Fix and flip is a real estate investment strategy where an investor purchases a property, renovates it, and then sells it for profit. The idea is to buy a property that is undervalued, either because it is in poor condition or because it's in a distressed market, and then increase the value by making repairs and improvement. Once the property is renovated, the investor can then sell it for higher price, making profit on the difference. So this strategy can be practiced on any type of property or anywhere in the world. So please note the words I highlighted here: undervalued and then distressed market. Please, the property that is a distressed market is not the same thing as distressed property. Do you understand me? A property can be in distressed market because the person that wants to sell the property is distressed. He needs funds. It's quite different from a property that is so much dilapidated that in some cases is even trying to collapse. That's not what we are talking here. If we go further, you will see some of the risks involved. So please, what we are interested here is, property that is undervalued and in distressed market, not distressed property. So what are the key considerations while investing in fix and flip? Market value of the property. Carry out proper valuation of the property to ensure you can sell for profit after renovation. You need an experienced estate surveyor and valuer. The condition of the property. Property should be structurally sound. Structural problem in a property can be very difficult to manage. Then you talk of cost of renovation. Have a realistic cost of renovation before investing. Pay attention to internal services required for functionality. Renovation period. This is key to your success. The longer, the more expensive. Check for unpaid bill. Find out the amount of any outstanding bills on the property. Safe and secure neighborhood. This will enhance property value after renovation. Investors experience. If you are not experienced, you hire the right professionals. So what I'm basically saying here is that if you want to use this model, these are the things you need to take into consideration before you go in. Do you understand me? Some of them you must, for example, the condition of the property. As I said before, you need to be sure that the property is structurally sound. Do you understand me? Yes. There are some buildings that, even by me looking at it, that is what? A no-go area. You don't want to go and buy a property that, for example, have foundation issues. You start by trying to repair the foundation, or it has structural integrity issue. So that's not what we are talking about. So you must, assess properly the condition of the property. Make sure that the property is sound, so that you just do small renovation and you are good to go. Then also the period. How long will it take you to renovate the house? You don't want to do you don't want to do a project that renovation will take so long and all that, because the advantage of this, you see later, is that you can do this repeatedly. But if the period you are using to do the renovation is taking long, it will affect your profit. One, it will be more costly, and you will not be able to repeat the process quickly. Then neighborhood, where you are buying the property. You all know that there are areas, no matter how good the house is no-go area. You agree with me? You don't go to a very poor neighborhood, then you buy a house, you start putting money to make it look like a house even if you make it like house in Maitama, the neighborhood is not good. It doesn't make sense. Do you understand? So I'm not saying Maitama is the only place. I'm just trying to say that, please, you should be able to get a very good neighborhood that can help us that can help you in whatever you are doing. The neighborhood is very, very important, and it must be safe. Do you understand me? The neighborhood must be safe. It has to be in a place that when you finish everything you are doing, the value of the property will be enhanced on the business matters. So if you don't have the right experience, let's say you don't know anything about construction, you need to hire people who are very, very professional and will be able to guide you. It is not a business, as I said, you just hear they are making money, you go into it, you buy a property that it will be too difficult for you to renovate, or after renovation, it will be too difficult for you to sell it. How do you make money? Okay, property fix and flip can be lucrative venture, but it requires careful planning and execution. Here are a breakdown on how to make money from property fix and flip. So, number one, acquire the right education. Get the right knowledge. This can be acquired through various channels, webinars, books, real estate programs on print and electronic media. There are so many platforms which you can use to learn. What I'm basically saying here is this, is what I have been saying before. For you to put your money down on any business, you need to know the business. You need to know what you are doing. Don't follow the crowd. Don't say that I heard that Peter made money from fix and flip. I will just go into it and make money. You can make money, all right, but you need to know what you are doing, like the considerations we mentioned before this slide. Those are some of the things that you need to have proper knowledge about that. Then understand the market, local real estate trend in your area, property value, and define neighborhood with potential for property value appreciation. So we are back to neighborhood again. Where do you really want to do this kind of business? Does the place have potential for value appreciation? If you do all the work, you renovate the house, you put all the money in it to make it look nice, will you be able to sell it? With the actual value of the property, will it appreciate when you do all the work? Then you learn the process, familiarize yourself with the steps involved in flipping, from finding properties to renovating and selling. Financial knowledge, understand options, budgeting, and estimation for renovation. You need to understand your financing options. If you go and take loan, for example, for this kind of project, especially in our climate here, and the project is taking long, it may be a bit challenging for you. So you need to know what are the other channels, how are you going to go about it, how are you going to get money to do the business. These are considerations you have to do before you go in. Prepare a budget and financial plan. Determine investment capital. How much do you want to invest? What is the purchase cost for this property? What is renovation cost? What is holding cost? Contingencies. So please, I think when we discuss long-term rental property, I mentioned this holding cost. If you have a house, there are bills that you pay, whether you are using the house or not. Do you understand me? So if you are going into the business, these are some of the things you should have planned for it before you go. And you have to make all these arrangements before you go, not when you have stepped in already. You start considering all this. Do you understand me? When you are preparing, you make your budget. How much am I going to put in this? What contingencies? There could be hidden problems on the building that you did not know before. So you build a buffer for them. Assume that, okay, something can come up because you are buying a building that is in a distressed state. Do you understand me? It may not be so dilapidated, but you have to do some work on it to bring it to the level, to add value to it so that you can sell it with profit. Do you understand me? So you need to, take all these things into consideration. Don't just make a line budget without putting what? For contingencies. Something will definitely come up, I can assure you. We had that experience in our property in Cuba. When we saw the house, we didn't know that there are no more cables there, electrical cables. Do you understand me? It was when we started the work, we found out that some of the cables have been damaged, some have been even got spoiled that they cannot be used again. We didn't factor all those things into it when we are buying. So these are some of the things that that's why you need to build contingencies in your budget and financing plan. Research and find the right property. You understand me? Identify undervalued properties. Look for properties priced below market value due to needed repairs or motivated seller. Do you understand me? So as we said at the beginning, the key to succeeding in this model is that the property is undervalued. Undervalued means, for example, the property is supposed to be 100 million, but the owner is ready to sell it for 60 to 70 million. That is what the owner is putting it for market. Maybe there are some repairs that need to be done on the property that you can easily do with 10 million. Let's say you bought it now for 60 million, you use 10 million to renovate it, you come to 70 million. Do you understand me? So assess potential, evaluate the property location, size, layout, and the potential for improvement. So you should also look into where the property is located. What is the size of this property? Does it have potential for improvement? Because there are property, as I said before, there are property you buy, no matter what you do on it, the value will not come up. Do you understand me? So these are the steps you need to take if you want to make money from this. Then consider 70% rule. A common guideline is to pay no more than 70% of the after repay value, ARV. So what we are saying here is this. If you want to do fix and flip, put into consideration everything you are going to do: buying the property, renovating it, putting it in a very good shape, and then putting it to market. Don't forget that when you are buying, you are going to pay what? Eh? Okay, you pay agent fee. When you are selling, you still pay agent fee. So all these things, by the time you put everything together, it should not be more than 70%. Your cost should not be more than 70%. And don't forget that you can aim for profit of 30%. The market did not allow you to do that. That's why they are saying don't pay more than 70% of the property value. Do you understand? Conduct comprehensive inspection and evaluation. Hire a professional inspector. Uncover hidden issues that could affect your budget and timeline. Pay attention to structural integrity of the entire property. If required, conduct integrity tests. Pay attention to service pipes. Evaluate repair costs. Get quotes from contractors for necessary repairs and improvements. Please, all this, especially this aspect, you have to do this before you even go to what? The negotiating table to buy the property. Do you understand me? You must know what it is going to cost you to carry out the repair, because that is what will arm you with your negotiation. Remember what you said before this slide. You don't have to pay more than what? 70%. So if you don't evaluate properly, you will not get it right. Do you understand? Know that in business, once money exchange hand, the money is gone. Once the money leave your pocket, you are on your own. It's now left for you to see how you manage the situation. Do you understand? So my own personal recommendation is that if it is a multi-story building, let's say 2 floors, 3 floors, you carry out what? Integrity test on the property. Integrity test is a test engineers conduct on a building to ensure that it is still functional. That means what you need to do, you are not going to do structural repairs. You are just going to maybe change the tiles, painting, change bathtubs, and the building is okay. Renovate strategically. Focus on high impact areas. Prioritize renovations that add most value, like kitchen and bath upgrades, curb appeal and necessary repairs. Do anybody know what curb appeal means? Okay, curb appeal means how the building looks from outside. Do you understand me? The first impression, even before you enter the house, that is how the building is attractive. The external facade of the building, is it well painted? The gates are okay. Is the lounge, you make sure there's no grasses in the place. So cover P is mainly how the building look from outside. The first impression you have before you even enter the building. That's what you mean by cover P. So you stick to the budget, avoid overspending on renovation beyond what the local market can support. Manage the project, oversee contractors, timeline and budget to ensure efficiency. So what we are trying to say here is this: if you have made your budget, try as much as possible to stick to the budget. Do you understand me? So if you start the work and now some people or your contractors begin to introduce idea to you, do like this, that do like this to increase it, but it is not within your budget, know that you are doing what? You are eating into your expected profit. And don't forget that you are not the only person in the market. Even when you finish everything, whatever you are doing, you are still going to do what? To go to the market, to put the property in the market. And if the price is too high, the property will remain with you. Okay, fix the right price. Analyze comparable sales. Look for recent sales of similar properties in the area to determine a competitive listing price. Consider market condition. Adjust prices based on demand and current market trends. Factor in realtors fees and other out-of-pocket expenses. So in this model, you need to be what? Be careful how you fix your price. Do you understand me? Because there's a price you will put on the property. It will stay for 1 year, you have not sold it. It makes this model fix and flip. It makes it, if your property cannot be sold easily, it makes the whole model useless. Do you understand me? So you must, check, even no matter what you are doing. That's why I say you have to do diligence at the beginning. No matter what you do, your property must be competitive. If you come to this our neighborhood, let's say a 4-bedroom terrace is selling for 300 million Nigerian naira, and you finish your property, you are putting it for 400 million, it will not sell. It will not sell, I can assure you. Because the market conditions in the area will determine how much you will sell. The market trend, what is property selling in that neighborhood. Of course, you can get 5% or 10% more, but when it's becoming 20-30%, nobody will buy from you. So you should be able to fix the right price for your property. Don't put too much profit on it so that you can repeat the cycle quickly. Okay, promote, market and sell. Market the property, use effective marketing strategies to attract potential buyers. Work with real estate agents. Consider hiring an agent for their expertise and network. So this model, you need, one of the things that will make you to succeed in this is ability to sell. Do you understand me? It is your ability to sell the property. That is what will make you to succeed. You need to buy the property, renovate quickly, put it for sale, and then you repeat the process. You will see the next step. Analyze and repeat the process. Review the project. After selling, analyze what went well and what could be improved for the future flips. Refine your strategy. Learn how each project, optimize your approach and maximize profit. You should try to carry out 3 cycles of the process in a year. Do you understand what we are trying to say here? You know that if you are doing real estate development, for example, some project can take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. That is not what we are talking about here. If you want to use this model to generate wealth, you need to be doing it like 3 times, minimum 3 times in a year. The idea is that you can use 1 month to find a property, follow all the processes, verify it, buy it. You use another 6 weeks to renovate it, and then you use another 6 weeks to market and sell it. Do you understand me? If you do that, you will be working approximately in 4 months cycle. So if you another 4 months, you do another one, another 4 months, you do another one. That makes what? 12 months in a year, and you have done it 3 times. With time, as you continue to improve on your process, you can now do maybe aim at doing it 4 times. Do you understand me? It's a very good model, but it has some risk. You see the risk later. But if well done, is a model that can work, and it makes a lot of money faster, because starting construction from the scratch, it has a lot of what challenges. But this one, you are looking at a house, you are not going to, for example, if you are not doing major repair, you are not going to development control for approval. Do you understand me? If all you are doing is just to renovate the house the way it is, for example, you are not changing a commercial property to a residential property, you don't need to go to development control to get approval to do that. Do you understand me? But if you are starting a building from the scratch, you have to do what? First of all, you buy the land, you do the drawing, you go to site, you clear the site, you start building. It's very, very much longer process than fix and flip. But here, you need to do what? Do in a short cycle. Aim to do 3 times in a year. So what are the benefits of fix and flip? Potential for higher profits, short investment cycle, we have discussed that, acquiring valuable skills, opportunity to add value, market flexibility, and community improvement. Do you understand what we are saying here? If you are doing this model, there's a potential for you to sell at very higher profit. You know why? Some of all the challenges involved in building new house, you have already done what? Cut them off, and you bought the property at undervalued price. Do you understand me? Please, if not for anything, let us go home with this undervalued price. You should aim to buy the property very much below the market value. And I said before, it could be aim for distressed seller, not a distressed property. Do we understand? There's a difference between a distressed seller and a distressed property. Then short-term cycle, we have discussed that, acquiring valuable skills. If you do this imagine you do this 3 times in a year. Even if you are not a professional in building industry, by the time you do it 3 times in a year, you must have learned some skills that will help you. Then it also gives you opportunity to add value. If you are that kind of person that if you see a building, you want to add value to it, opportunity is here. Market flexibility. What I'm trying to say in market flexibility is this: you can do a lot of options. For example, if the market is hot, if you are in an area where the property market is very hot, you can do what? You can just look for building that will do very, very small renovation. You put it in the market and flip it. Then if you go where the market is a bit dull, you will now be looking, you need to go deeper and find a property that is very, very what? Cheap. But you know that a cheaper property, you have to do what? More work on it. So you have various options to choose, either to depending on the market in your area where you are working, what the market is saying. We all know, for example, in this Abuja, we know the hottest places for properties. Do we know? Those places you aim at, doing something that you can do, just small renovation, you put it on the market. Then community improvement. What I mean here is this: you can go to an area and find out that some of the buildings there are not in good shape. This model gives you opportunity to be doing buying houses, renovating it, improving on the general outlook of the community. Do you understand me? Okay. So what are the risks? As I said before, each model has its own benefits and risk. Do you understand me? So the risks associated with this, we have financial risk. Overestimating after repair value, ARV, could lead to losses of profit if the property stays for long in the market. Understanding renovation costs. Getting the actual renovation cost can be problematic. There could be hidden problems. I mentioned this before. When you see a house that needs renovation, sometimes you will do your best, but there could still be some things that you wouldn't know that they exist. As I said before, like our PW house, even after the cable, which was the one we saw, as people moved in, we found out that there were some issues with underground service pipes. That's the waste pipes and the water supply pipe. Because what? They are hidden inside the ground. It's difficult for you to know that these things need repair, especially when you go to house and they tell you everything is functional. Do you understand me? So then holding costs, as I said before, there are bills. If you have a house, there are bills that you must pay. Do you understand me? In that our PW house also, we had to pay PHCMD, we had to pay water bill. Those things came up after we have bought the house. Do you understand me? These are bills that people who stayed in the house before have incurred and they did not pay. They left without paying it. And because we acquired the house, PHCN say, okay, before we connect you back to our grid, you have to pay some bills. Please don't neglect some of these things. They could weigh you down, especially if you didn't account for them. Then market fluctuation. Real estate market, it can be unpredictable. Sudden downturn can make it difficult for you to sell the property. Things can change. You understand me? Like when the present regime came into power, we all know what happened. I mean, they removed the fuel subsidy, then they floated the naira, and things became difficult. It was at that period, it was difficult for people to adjust and cope with the situation. And the thing made market dull for a while during that period. So things like that can happen. The market, things can change in the market. Once people's purchasing power reduces, they can no longer buy property. You may not be able to sell as quick as planned. It's one of the risks. Operational risks, contractor issues, time delays, unexpected repairs, property damage. So if you are doing this model, you need to build your team of contractors. They will go a long way in determining how you succeed on the business. Do you understand me? Yes. Contractors are the people that will do the work for you. You are not going to do the work yourself. So if contractors are giving you problem, it could affect your project, it could delay the project. Then unexpected repairs, we have discussed that. Then property damage. You can finish the house and something just happened. When I was working with Wiz Construction Nigeria Limited, we did a project in Apapa in Lagos. This thing I'm telling you is true life story. We have finished the project. We are test running the project. The building caught fire. I'm telling you, in Apapa, Lagos, the building that we have finished, it caught fire. So that is what natural. I don't know whether we call fire a natural disaster or what, but something like that can happen. So in most cases, you may consider taking. They are what they call construction all risk insurance. Do you understand me? You can, if you have a project and for you to prevent something like this, you can take insurance to cover you for such losses. And on that project, we had insurance. So the actual insurance company, they came in and took care of the repair work. So, but such things can happen. Then market and legal issues, changing market condition, legal issues, and competition. We know what we mean by legal issues here. We don't expect that, but you can buy a property. For example, you can buy a property and legal issue come up. I'll give you an example. Somebody could sell a property for you, maybe children of a late person can sell a property for you, even though you have all the documentation. You are right, you have done everything right. But some of the other members of the family come and say, no, you are not part of this deal. You have your documents, you have done all the fault is not from you, but what will come? It will result to legal issue. You will go to court and you know the outcome, how difficult it is for you to go through legal process. It's not something that you should do if you are doing this model or for any business at all. I have never seen legal issues that favor businesses. In most cases, it's something that corporate organization they want to avoid because of what the processes involved. So those are some of the risks. Okay, how do you mitigate this risk? Are we now trying to say that because of this risk we saw in the model that we should not go into it? No, because as I said before, if you move from this model to another model, there will still be a risk. So what you need to do is to find a way how you can mitigate the risk. And these are what the measures you can use to mitigate some of these risks. So we start by conducting thorough due diligence on the property. Create realistic budget with contingency funds. Build a reliable team of contractors and real estate professionals. Stay informed about market trend. Have a solid exit plan. You can see that this section on risk mitigation has in fact summarized all the measures you need to succeed in this business. When you conduct thorough due diligence, you find out everything about the property. It's not only about the physical nature of the property. If there are issues with the documentation, you find out when you are doing thorough due diligence. Then you also create realistic budget and contingency fund. We have discussed that before. So this covers most of the things we discussed about finances. Then you build a reliable team of contractors and real estate professionals. This also is very, very important because they can mess you up. If the person that went to inspect the building did not give you all the details, you will run into what? Problems. So stay informed about market trends. We cannot overemphasize this. Anything you are trying to do, try to know what the market is saying. You must be in real estate business. Market trend is very, very important. What are people looking for? Market trend is not only about price. You understand me? It's also about what? House type. What are people looking for? Especially when we did our demand review estate, in the course of marketing it, we found out that people are now, what the in thing now is that people want, they are more concerned about their privacy. People don't, those who can afford it, they don't want things like block of flat. That is, we put that into consideration when we are now designing cabinet project. And that is why you see that even our 2-bedroom apartment, we made it work in form of terraces so that people can just come into their house, they have a compound of their own and they lock the gate. Do you understand? So that is all about what? Market trend. You can see that a 3-bedroom block of flat, 2-bedroom block of flat is getting phased out.
Yes, sir.
You understand me? It's getting phased out. It's because of what? Trend. That is what they mean by market trend. So you need to always be up to speed with what the market is saying. So this is where we draw the curtain today on this series, that is on how to make money from fix and flip. So as a company, we have a partnership opportunity. So if you are interested in marketing with us, you contact us on this phone number or visit our social media handles. I want to thank you sincerely for watching this video, and if this video made sense to you, kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that each time I release a video like this, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for watching this video.